Hello, lovely humans, and welcome back to the show that keeps explaining things the skincare industry has been oversimplifying for decades. You are listening to the AI avatar of Dr. Irina Lazuk, dermatologist, skin scientist, and the woman who is about to explain what hydration actually means in a way that will make you look at your entire moisturizer collection with new and somewhat suspicious eyes. Dr. Lazuk is not with us today because she is currently submerged, quite literally, in a thermal mineral spa somewhere in the volcanic highlands of Iceland, having accepted an invitation to consult on a study examining the effects of geothermal water composition on barrier hydration at depth. She arrived with a research protocol and a waterproof notepad. She has been in the water for 6 hours. The research team reports she keeps requesting additional immersion cycles because, in her words, the transepidermal water loss data at this mineral concentration is genuinely extraordinary. They have provided towels 3 times. She has declined all 3. The notepad is apparently holding up remarkably well. We expect her to emerge sometime before the volcanic activity does. So, you have the avatar, and today we are clearing up one of the most persistent and quietly consequential misunderstandings in all of skincare. What hydration actually is, and why almost everyone is doing it slightly wrong. Here is the misconception that starts everything. Most people hear the word hydration and think moisture, water, something comforting was applied to the surface, a thick cream, a rich balm, something that makes skin feel temporarily coated and comfortable. And that instinct is not entirely wrong. It is just incomplete in a way that leads to a lot of frustrated skin and a lot of products that feel good for 40 minutes and then leave the face feeling inexplicably tight again by noon. True hydration is not about what you put on top of your skin. It is about whether your skin can hold on to water properly from within. Those are different problems, and they require different thinking. Let us talk about hyaluronic acid, because this is where the conversation usually lives and also where it most frequently goes sideways. Hyaluronic acid is not a foreign ingredient your skin has to learn to tolerate. It is something your skin already makes and already knows intimately. It is naturally present in healthy skin, joints, and connective tissue, and its entire biological purpose is to bind water. In young, well-functioning skin, hyaluronic acid is part of what creates that plump, soft, light-reflecting quality that people spend considerable sums of money trying to recreate. It is not magic. It is biology doing its job correctly. Over time, through aging, through environmental stress, through inflammation and sun exposure, and the general accumulating demands of being a person, the skin's natural hyaluronic acid supply declines. Its ability to hold on to water becomes less efficient. Skin begins to feel tighter, duller, less flexible, and this is important. None of that requires dry skin to happen. Dehydration lives just as comfortably in oily skin as in dry skin, because dehydration is about water management, not oil production. These are entirely separate systems, and confusing them leads people to apply rich, heavy products to skin that needs something completely different. What hyaluronic acid does is act as a reservoir. It attracts water and retains it where the skin needs it. No heaviness, no oil, just water, held where it belongs, doing what water does for skin function. But here is the part that marketing rarely explains, and this is where the actual problem lives for most people. Hyaluronic acid does not work well in isolation. Applied to very dry skin in a dry environment with no barrier support following it, hyaluronic acid can actually pull water from deeper layers of the skin instead of drawing it in from the surrounding air, which means instead of feeling hydrated, skin feels tighter than before. You applied the hydrating product and your face got worse. The product is not defective. The context was wrong. Hydration is not only about attraction, it is equally about retention, and retention requires a functioning barrier. Hyaluronic acid draws water in. The barrier keeps it there. Without that second step, without a product that supports the barrier and helps seal what the humectant has gathered, the water evaporates. The reservoir empties. You are back to tight and uncomfortable by mid-morning and completely confused about why your expensive hydrating serum is not working. This explains a pattern Dr. Lazuk sees constantly. People layer hydrating serums repeatedly, sometimes 3 or 4 products that are all essentially doing the same humectant job, and then skip the step that actually locks in what they have added. Or they use aggressive actives that dehydrate the skin faster than any amount of hydration can compensate. The input is there, the infrastructure to hold it is not. When hyaluronic acid is used correctly, applied to damp skin, followed by a barrier supporting product that creates the seal, something noticeably different happens. Fine lines that are driven by dehydration rather than structural aging soften. Not because anything was injected or resurfaced, but because water is now present where those lines were forming. Makeup sits more evenly. Active ingredients are tolerated more easily because the skin is not simultaneously managing dehydration stress. Treatments land better, recovery is faster, the whole system works more cooperatively. And here is the versatility that makes hyaluronic acid genuinely useful across almost every skin type and life stage. Acne-prone skin benefits from proper hydration because when skin has adequate water, it does not need to compensate with excess oil production, removing a significant driver of congestion. Aging skin benefits because water retention directly supports the elasticity and plumpness that decline with collagen and HA loss. Sensitive and reactive skin benefits because hydrated skin is measurably less reactive. The barrier is more intact, signals are interpreted more clearly, and the whole system is less on edge. The ingredient earns its place. The application method determines whether it actually works. So here is what correct hydration actually looks and feels like when it is working properly. Skin does not feel coated, it does not feel slick or heavy or like something has been deposited on the surface. It feels comfortable, flexible, steady, like the skin is simply behaving the way skin is supposed to behave without requiring constant attention or reapplication. That settled, unremarkable feeling, skin that is just calmly present throughout the day rather than swinging between comfortable and tight, is exactly what you are aiming for. Not dewiness for an hour, not a temporary plump that deflates by afternoon. Skin that functions well through temperature changes, stress, active ingredients, and the general disruptions of a normal day. That consistency, boring as it sounds, is when the most meaningful and durable skin improvements begin to happen. Because when skin is not constantly managing dehydration, it finally has the resources to do everything else it is designed to do: repair, renew, regulate, respond intelligently rather than defensively. Hydration is the foundation, not in the vague marketing sense, in the literal biological sense. Get this right, and everything else works better. Skip it or do it incorrectly, and everything else compensates around the gap, usually in ways that create new problems to solve. Start on damp skin, follow with barrier support. Be consistent. Pay attention to how your skin actually responds rather than how the product description says it should respond. And let the reservoir fill properly before you ask anything else of it. Before we close, everything you just heard is purely for entertainment and educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice or a clinical recommendation for your individual skin situation. Hydration needs vary significantly based on skin type, barrier condition, environment, and overall health. Please consult a licensed dermatologist for personalized guidance specific to you. Dr. Lazuk will be available for consultations as soon as the Icelandic research team successfully negotiates her exit from the thermal pool and locates a dry towel she will actually accept. May your skin always glow as brightly as your smile.